Time check, 4:09 p.m. Radio station 92.3 Nigerian for presenter Kalada Kuru Batubo. And yes, it is time for another conversation on hard facts with you on the other side of the radio. All right. So I want to look at something. But before I tell you what my conversation is about, let's have a preamble. Yeah. So last week we looked at, not just on hard facts, different presenters, different shows, different radio stations, TV stations, social media, basically different platforms, looked at the pump price increment of petrol. A lot of people also looked at the economic realities, and there was so much talk about the economic relief or reliefs reeled out by the National Economic Council. Basically, these were the conversations that trended last week. And one of such conversations centered on the Buhari administration social register. So you would remember, it was rife on Friday that NEC came out and said the registry done by the Buhari's administration, the social register by that administration, lacks credibility as it was done from the federal level and down to the state government. So the NEC, that's the Economic Council, arrived at the resolution and said that there will be a new registry, and this time it will be done by the state in collaboration with the local governments, the 36 state governments and their local governments. It will be done together, and so that they can be able to get to the real poorest of the poor and not the believed poorest of the poor, so to say. However, today there is a publication on one of the dailies that says the World Bank is insisting that the social register during the Buhari administration was done in collaboration with the state government. As a matter of fact, the state governments, the 36 of them, were the ones who did the register in terms of writing the names of the poorest of the poor people in their locality and gave it to the federal government. It was done through the various state ministry of budget and planning. And so the World Bank, through its office in Nigeria, is wondering where the claims that the social register lacks credibility is coming from, because some of the people who were in that meeting, in that NEC meeting, were also part of the people who formulated the social register during Buhari's administration. And it got me thinking. My brain just went into action immediately. Could it be that we are now seeing a possible manipulation of the system to favor some people, like we saw during the COVID-19 era, where there were economic reliefs, and some of you call it palliatives, and it did not reach the people who were most affected by the shutting down of the economy? And so we remember the warehouse incident, right? The warehouses, because there were a couple of them in different parts of the country. Also, we remember the flood management situation, where in River State, I think I talked about it. And by the way, I was listening to Constance read the news, and the floods are now here. I've been screaming and I've been shouting, and I said, because I did not get the kind of support, or the conversation did not get the kind of support that I needed it to get, I probably would not delve too much into it when the floods finally arrive. The floods are here, and like I expected, or like I predicted, nobody is ready for it. Not the government, not the people, none of it, nobody. But anyways, during the flooding of 2022, a lot of people were affected. I remember I was in the field that time. I covered it and I reported it. I still have the videos. I'm finding it difficult to delete the videos from my system. I still have the videos. I visited the outer east and west area. Now, NEMA decided to share economic reliefs or palliatives and gave it to what? Local government chairman. And in a particular local government here in River State, people were arguing or were lamenting that these packages were going to political cronies, people who supported the political party that the local government chairman belongs to. So it shows that usually when there is a palliative to share, there is some level of corruption that bedevils the whole process. Because I'm wondering, if the World Bank's claim is anything to go by, then how all of a sudden does the social register under Buhari's administration now lack credibility? Anyways, they have come to a resolution. The state governors, in collaboration with the local government chairman, will build or formulate a new social register. And River State is part of it. And then there are questions in my head. How do we form a social register in River State? We've got 23 local government areas. In these local government areas, there are several communities therein. How do we identify the poorest of the poor in River State? That's the first big question in my head. How do we identify the poorest of the poor in River State? And given the background of the conversation, where I went back to 2020, 2019, 2020, where we had the COVID situation, and I reminded you that, the economic relief did not necessarily get to the people who were most affected. I also told you about, the flood period, where the federal government claimed they had donated certain amounts to about 13,000 people. Thereabout. Also, we've had several stories about social welfare schemes right from Goodluck Jonathan's time, and all of it have been characterized by some level of corruption. And not too far away is NEMA's distribution of relief materials through the local government chairman. While some local governments say, maybe it got to some people who really need it, they are the ones who cried out and said it went to certain political supporters or certain political party supporters. And so it brings to the fore the conversation on the credibility of the institutions that will help form the social register. So looking at River State again, what institutions should be involved to show that the register has credibility in terms of it has captured indeed the poorest of the poor? Was it not the employment process into River State institutions that was reported to have been marred by irregularities, corruption, people bought slots and all of that? Will people buy slots now to become the poorest of the poor? How do we ensure? That's the second big question. But to the question I want to throw out to you, maybe if you can answer all three, I will be glad, is how? What's the process now to achieving a good, a credible, a fair social register here in River State? I know some of you have argued 8,000 naira will not do any good, and that argument is there. Some people have said, the economic reliefs released by the Economic Council will not help the situation. It would not, some people argue. And given our next conversation, the 5 o'clock hour, you would understand why some people are arguing in that direction. However, there are people who are arguing that this might just be another corruption statistics. That's the $800 million that will be shared to about how many million homes now? For 6 months now. 12 million homes, right? Yeah. For 6 months. So some people said This money will be another statistics, corruption statistics, and we'll now start calculating all the monies that have been siphoned by certain political people or certain politicians. All right, so I'm going to open the phone lines now. I've got 3 questions. The main question is, what's the process? What in your mind do you think is the credible process in building a social register that will actually capture the poorest of the poor in Rivers State? In your community, where are the poorest of the poor? Who are the poorest of the poor? Does anybody agree to be amongst the poorest of the poor? But then to the other questions, other side questions I'm asking. How do we identify the poorest of the poor? What body will be the appropriate body? What institution would be the appropriate institution for selecting the poorest of the poor in Rivers State? All right, so I'm going to open the phone lines now. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. Once again, 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. For WhatsApp, use this number 0809-030-6416. We live on Facebook. We're active on Twitter. I heard they've changed the name, or they're about changing the name. But let's go with Twitter for now. And we're active on YouTube. There is a commercial break coming up in about 4 minutes. So please go straight to the point so we can take as much calls as we can before 25 minutes past 4. I've got McDonough from Rukpok. Is it McDonald from Rukpoku? McDonald, welcome on the show.
Thank you, Kalada.
Yeah, welcome.
I think this is another lagis for the politicians and their followers.
You're one of those people. I see.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have seen the formula being employed in River State.
Have you seen it?
But let me say this.
What's the formula, please? I've not seen it. Can you educate me? What's the formula?
Yes. The local government chairman and the councillors will compile lists of the ruling political party.
No. That's an allegation on your part. But
it is factual allegation. It is a fact.
It's an allegation. An allegation cannot be a fact.
It is a fact. Despite the allegation, it is a fact.
Okay, all right.
That is in the public domain.
That's your
so
allegation.
What I'm trying to say is this.
Yeah, go ahead.
If the federal government want to do anything to alleviate the suffering of the poorest of the poor, let them make education to be accessible and free.
Now we get that part. We get that part, McDonough. But the truth is, and that's the reality you've got to face, is that they will share the money and they will share it to, according to them, the poorest of the poor. How do we identify, once again, the poorest of the poor in Rivers State? It's a simple question.
In short, as a matter of fact, from the inception, the whole thing has been plagued by corruption. I don't believe in. I don't believe, because we cannot identify them.
Okay then. All right. Thank you, McDonald. I've got to go now to find mine before the break. Find mine quickly. Tell me what's on your mind. Yeah. Let's hear you.
Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening.
Kalada. You see, this issue is a very controversial one. Yes, the removal of the subsidy met a lot of criticisms. The reason why that criticism did not stand was because prior to this time, Nigerians that actually knew the corruption and fraud that was associated with the so-called subsidy, we are eagerly awaiting the removal of subsidy. So there was no criticism. Those people that criticized it were just doing it either out of ignorance or probably because of what they gained from it. But this particular so-called palliative, even the poorest of the poor don't need it. They don't need it because, of course, you cannot determine.
Now, find mine now. See, I'm not looking. We talked about all of this on Friday and the days before. So I'm not looking at the conversation about whether it makes sense or it's effective or not.
You're looking at how they are going to determine the poorest of the poor,
exactly,
right?
Because you're already arguing that the money might be siphoned. So let's look at the poorest of the poor.
You don't have to register of debt and debt. You understand?
Okay.
So this is just, to me, I think it's even necessary. Let's use that money to repair our refineries. As simple as that.
All right then. All right. Thank you very much.
There is no accurate register.
Okay. Thank you for your thought. Now, I told you that a lot of people already have their growls with, sharing this money. When we come back, we'll talk about this. Stay tuned.
On your station, the conversation.
right about now. I'm going to go straight to the phone line. You listen to Hard Facts with Kalada Korubat, looking at River State Social Register. And the reason why we're looking at it is because a report did come out today where World Bank, through its office in Nigeria, said that the former social register that has been discountenanced, what's it called now? The Muhammadu Buhari's administration social register that was said to lack in credibility was said to have been done by the 36 state governors through their Ministry of Budget and National Planning. And then the question in my head is, so when it lack in credibility, is it mean we're not going to go the question or questions of asked? First, how do we identify the poorest of the poor in River State? Second, what institutions should we use to capture the poorest of the poor to ensure that this time the social register is not lacking credibility? And then the third question in my head is, what is the right process? Remember, the reason why they are doing a new social register is because the other one lacked credibility. What is the right process in getting a quality, a fair, a credible, you can use all the adjectives social register in River State? Well, what is the yardstick? 0817 923 0002. We're live on Facebook, remember. Second number is 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp number 0809 0306416. On Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. Like I said not too long ago, we are live. On Twitter, Nigeria Info PH is the handle. And on YouTube, we're live as well, Nigeria Info PH. I'm going to go to the phone line, but let's see. Do I have messages? Not yet. So I've got Nelson. Right, select Nelson's call. Nelson, good evening to you. Welcome.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Welcome.
My brother, I'm Nelson from Bonny.
I know already. Go.
There is no a strategy to give this money to the party purpose. Nothing more than that. My brother, did you know in Bonny right now,
okay,
is 1,000 naira per liter?
I've heard those stories.
A lot of businesses have gone there, including my own.
So that means wait, Nelson. That means you can be captured amongst the poorest of the poor. Don't you think so? So maybe
you can't determine the poor. Not possible. They know that anything they go anywhere.
All right, if you say so, Nelson.
Who is the poor? And who is the rich?
The poor is the person who cannot afford certain is living below what they call it now, $100 now, yeah?
My brother, listen, don't be offended.
I'm listening.
Personally, my business carries 15 to 17,000 naira fuel every day before the subsidy comes in. Today, I'm using 50 liters of fuel a day. And I can't afford it because it's 50,000 naira.
So yet again, I'm asking you, can I then capture you amongst the poorest of the poor?
Capture me?
All right, thank you, Nelson. Nelson, thank you for your time. I've got Clinton from Bori. Clinton, welcome on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kalada. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, welcome.
I want to state it clearly that I'm against the palliative.
Okay.
I'm against it because I believe no avenue to enrich the rich. Then, who is the poor person? I think we can actually determine who the poorest is. But the human factor will allow us to get it right. The people that will be given this tax, nepotism will not allow them. Because if you go to community, everybody have a community color. And there are persons even the communities that don't have shelled their head.
Okay.
This is the poorest of the poor. There are some persons that cannot even feed, that cannot feed like even 2 times a day, they cannot feed. And they are living in our community, they are living in our neighborhood. So I'm saying that we can actually like my friend or pick my brother, will not allow us to
but Clinton, why do you want to pick your friend? How much is the money that you want to pick your friend up?
That's what I'm saying. That we can actually do it, but if they give it to somebody, they will, if they the right place, they will go and pick their brothers. That's the problem. So corruption is rooted, it's systemic in Nigeria.
All right then.
And I pray for this country.
All right then. Thank you very much, Clinton. Do you remember the time the former administration said that they want share? Is it shares? That's the name for it. 20,000 naira to youth so that they could go about and be doing mini jobs like cleaning markets. Remember that scheme? I'm trying to remember the name now. You just hit me. What happened to that one? So you see, we need to follow the money. We need to follow the process. And I'm asking a question. What's the right process? I've got Peter from Igota. Peter, welcome on the show. Let's hear your thoughts, please.
Hello?
Yeah, welcome, Peter.
Yeah. I want to comment on that. It's not possible to get accurate number of the people. You ask a question that what is the remedy? You are saying something like that. If Nigeria really want to do something that will favor the masses, they know what to do. Only that everything people do in this country, they want to use it to undo the poor masses. If you want to take that type of data, there is no need meeting governor. You go through direct to the people you pay. You know that you're going to the people.
Share the money. I heard you loud and clear. Ask you a question. Can you hear me?
Huh?
Oh, sorry about that, Peter. I've got to let you go. But poor connection or possibly the same issue that affect our conversations. Edward from Umolumeni. Edward, welcome.
Yeah, good evening. The poorest of the poor and modalities to
all right.
The village chiefs.
Okay.
And our local church find the last the church list. Village chiefs deliver. But our big politicians could not deliver. So those two avenues are the best for us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. But then the village chief have also been involved in one argument, especially where there is the community tussle for the traditional and situations like that, right? Okay, but I get you. Let me welcome. Let's hear.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Let me ask, is there any time in Nigeria we have a government that will be a policy to the nation? Is there any time like
a policy to the nation? Is that what you said?
Is there to lead the nation treasury?
I don't know.
Because it's like every government will come and introduce something that will make them lead policy. Trader money of Buhari. In my village, I have not seen anyone who said he has received 5,000. And now, this one has come with this palliative. COVID-19 palliative in Rivers State, and a Rivers man, I didn't receive 1 grain of rice.
Are you amongst the poorest of the poor?
I'm going to be below $100 per day. So I'm among them. Talking about it, Rivers, the former
we're not talking about debt now, but very much frank. We grasp the see. And I mentioned it. I understand that a lot of you have your skepticism about the process of sharing money to the purse of the poor. But again, there is the argument that usually when things like this happen, the money is being looted. Right. And the sales follow insurance to the right people. And I started by saying the state governors have been given the responsibility. They are now with the responsibility to ensure these money gets to the rest of the poor. So the state government will be the ones to form the social register. And we form. So how do we build our social register? What are the right processes? Is it possible to capture the poorest of the poor in rivers? I mean, you all come from communities. Looking at your community, is it possible? Is it something that is achievable? And then should we use and capture these poorest of the poor in our states? Simple. Godspar from J. Hello, Godspar.
Yeah, good evening.
You're welcome.
Like what you asked, the best option, like what the federal government did sometimes, they have to send people to the villages. Village by village, and let them. They see their houses, they will see them on the ground. Those they see, they will know who is poor and who is not poor. Governors will hijack it politically. House of Reps will hijack it to their people, their village people. House of Reps, they said, it is better they send 3-4 persons. Like my place is Afukabe. You are going to capture the people realistically. This one, okay, this one. They have to give them some certain allowance for them to do that.
God's
they
power.
will get the data.
God's
they
power.
know who is family and how many are there. So it's not going to be my people because our people are looking at you. You cannot tell me that one call is a family. They will be looking at you. Where is your house and the other thing that involved? Although there may be minor manipulation, but it will not be so severe. If you go to bank, most of them have account number or BVN. The best is capitalized. That's what they were doing. I saw some people.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes,
now, you've just said that the people in the rural areas don't have account. So,
yes, most.
How do you think they'll get the money when the government starts paying?
Like that one they did. When they capture you, that immediately. They open up for that immediately. After capture, they will open your account for you.
Okay.
When they capture you, they open it with your name. Or they say, well, the next person that has account number, they link you to that account number, telling the person that the money will come. If it is 10,000, the money will come 20,000. This one has 10, this one 10. It's an agreement. Any other place, any other institution, even church or this one, they will hijack it. This is the best option. Thank you. Right. God bless you.
Right. Thank you very much. Peter Migruta is calling back. Peter, I thought we were done. Yeah, welcome back. What did you forget to say?
I said it's not possible to get the data.
Okay.
Because everybody, they want to make clear, they should remove source of it goes straight to the ballot. The local government chairman, moving from the governor, to do it rate. Give it to it. Nobody is free.
All right. Then.
And that is how to start first. Immediately they give it to somebody, they will always hijack it.
All right.
So that's what I have to say.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp, use the number 0809-030-6416. Hello. What's your name? Good evening to you. What's your name? Sorry, the connection is very poor and terrible. I've got to let you go. But then let's go to WhatsApp and let's see. Nobody should be classified as among forest who indoor citizens. When you say, "Oh, I need money on welfare," I said some of you've got a problem with it. Some of you think it's not the best of idea given our economic state. But that's not where the focus is. And I do appreciate the fact that most of you who have called in, are tilting towards the part that this is not the best move when we talk about spending that money. But there's also the argument that this money could become another corruption statistics. And that's why this conversation is happening. So, we can begin to create the awareness and we can come to an agreement on this is how best we can, ensure that the money that they say they want to spend will be spent for the purpose that they want to spend the money for, free of corruption. And that's what we're talking about. All right, so let's see another message. It says, it is revealing that most of your callers do not have any sympathy for the downtrodden or the poorest of the poor. Eric Chooks, all right. That's one way to look at it. But I've got Leko from Bori. Leko, welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
If I may ask, is there anything wrong in the government in order to help the poor people, to provide the enabling environment for them to take out their living? For instance, making the fuel available by local refinery in Nigeria than sharing money? If the federal government is genuine to actually alleviate the suffering of Nigerians,
okay,
and all the discussion, all the solutions that have been thrown out by the federal government, they are not talking about how to make our refinery work.
See,
in the absence of God, I see all these things they are doing as a hoax.
So you don't. I get the point that you feel like the money should have been spent differently. We've had that conversation, but now they have said that this is how they want to spend the money. would you rather look away, or would you want to ensure that the money is spent the way they say they will spend
I
the
have
money?
been listening to your program since this issue
Of course.
And majority of Nigerians are unanimous that, look, the only way to solve the problem and alleviate the suffering of Nigeria is for us to start our local refinery. As it was in the 80s, we were exporting petroleum products. We have the crude, we have the refinery here to even export to other the neighboring country in West Africa and end foreign exchange. Why is our government not thinking that way? And the government is the people are responsible. The people are the government, and they ought to be responsible to us. Why are they doing as if they are criminals? That we are talking to Nigerians are talking to them. They don't want to hear.
All right then. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, don't spend the money this way." But the truth is, no matter how much we argue about it, I mean, the resolution has been reached, and that's how they're going to spend it. So are you going to... Anyways, let's move on. This one on WhatsApp says, there are no poor of the poor anywhere. As someone has said, the local government chairmen are going to use this again for their party members. Let this money be used for our refineries. Add Ovire. Oh my goodness, a lot of people are going back to that conversation. But this one says, good evening, Nigeria Info. It is easy to identify the poor. If we go to our rural areas, we're going to identify them. These set of people don't have anyone doing government jobs or have any business. It is selfishness that is disturbing us. You'll see someone earning salary and doing a good business coming to drag 8,000 naira with someone that can afford 5,000 naira in a month. Politicians bringing their sisters, mothers, brothers, and their supporters as empowerment. I think a committee should be set up in every ward and unit. This is the only way we can identify the poor people. Thanks. Thank you. I'm Xavier from LA. Xavier, greetings to you. Welcome.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes. It's starting to do. I think it's another way of defrauding the country. Can you remember during the immediate past regime when they said that they were feeding good children? During the children were at home. So how were they feeding the children? It is the same measure that they want to use in this one. It's a fraud.
Okay.
There should be an enabling environment. And there are things refineries to work. Why we are suffering in this issue is that we are exporting our crude oil and our importing petroleum products. And the exchange rate is we want to to suffer what we are suffering today. So if they remove subsidy from petroleum products, then the other of the society should be subsidized. We should use one to cover the one, and there should be enabling environment. Our refineries should work. The thing will take shape.
All right then. Everybody seems to be kicking against the sharing of the money, but my goodness. Yes, I agree. We should build refineries. I agree. I've always shouted that. But see, this is our reality, and it's welfare is the short-term resolution by the Economic Council, and they're going to share the money whether you like it or not. Precious is calling from HA. Precious, welcome.
All right, good day. This is Parker Precious calling from HA.
All right, welcome then.
Yeah, good evening. I hope these people are not thinking of within the boss. This is another corruption in its highest level. Giving for the people and taking back from them. Let them find a way and do our refinery so that this problem will come and go and once and for all. What has been giving palliative? What are they giving palliative for? Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. Anna says getting the accurate numbers of the poorest is impossible because we do not have a central database that have the details of everyone residing in Rivers State. But it is not too late. They can start creating database for different LGAs. Greetings, Mr. Canada. Anna, thank you. But then again, remember that we've got ghost workers in the civil service. Are we going to have ghost workers and the poorest of the poor as well? But this one says, how do you determine the poorest of the poor in a country that does not have direction? There is no sense in the policy, okay? The only way that the statistics of this category of persons can be obtained is through village heads and chiefs. This is because it is only the village heads that can provide this data. But the problem here is that these village heads are like the politicians we have in the village who may still hoard these palliatives. Esugulem from Dukucho. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take one more call and then we wrap this. Connection issues. 017923000. 01792300003. On Facebook, James Steffa, let our refineries work, please. Who palliative help? Alo Salo Satsumi, why can't they channel this money towards the rehabilitation of the nation's refineries? I don't support the idea of sharing money. Is it not possible to capture the poorest of the poor? Or you said it is not possible to capture the poorest of the poor. If given to the state government, only their party members will benefit. Saturday from Boria. All right. Let's see. John Testimony is sending a message on WhatsApp. It says those palliative and those and the most important thing, not even though they will do it correctly. He said. I'm not on the message. But thank you very much. There is a commercial break after that. The news and more. I'm Kalakarubo. To stay tuned.